Okay, welcome. Welcome to Nonconformist Eyewear here on YouTube. Get ready with me. I did something new. I really liked what I did, which was new, and I'm going to share it with you, and maybe you'll find it useful. So before I get started, my name is Deborah, and I am the person behind this channel. Thank you so much for your support and your subscriptions to the channel. I appreciate it. Uh, yeah, how's your locks going? How are your locks going? Specifically for freeform lock wearers or semi-freeform lock wearers. Yeah, how are your locks going? How's the journey for you? Hope you're doing really, really well. The light is in the way. Okay, maybe I'll come closer. Yeah. All right. Okay. Let's do it that way. Keep the light out of the camera. Yeah. I was just really getting ready to retire for the evening, so I am just doing my nighttime routine. Some shea butter. I've added some castor oil. Everything is literally cold pressed. My oils are cold pressed, and this is how I use my oils instead of in my locks. And I prefer it this way. Mind you, this side of my face feels a bit rough because I over exfoliated, overdid the self-care, and that's bruised up my skin. So I'm trying to get it back to some sort of normality. So yeah, that's done. I'm getting ready for bed. And there's something new that I did was I saw it somewhere. So this is not my invention. I saw this on another channel. Is her name V? I want to say V. I could be wrong. She's British, beautiful locks. And she's definitely someone who cannot stand lint in her hair. So I was like in her comment section saying, me too. I have no relationship with lint, really. I just don't want it. And I often say this on my channel. This is one of the reasons why I don't add products to my hair, so it doesn't attract lint. And she said the same thing too, and I really like that. I just loved that video so much because it really talked about so many things. But anyway, one of the things she mentioned, I think she said she saw it. She saw it in that video. I think she said in her video that she's seen it happen somewhere. But here it is. Now, the bristle brush is not new to you. We all know what a bristle brush is, right? And for some people, they use it. Let's say you use it in your locks to dust off any lint, but you use it this way, dry. Whether it's a soft bristle or hard bristle brush, you use that to just dust off the surface. I want to liken that to dry brushing of the skin to wake up the lymph and to remove dead skins, right? So, but what I did is take it one step further. Um, Apart from or in addition to obviously always shaking my locks this is wash day, right? So it pertains to wash day. Let me just make that clear. Don't want to sort of jump the gun, but this is pertaining to wash day. Welcoming greetings. Hello, how are you? Thank you for joining. So basically what happens is my locks are under here. So my locks are here. They're growing so much. They are literally almost all of them are able to sit and drape over one shoulder, which means they're growing. So anyway, back to the topic of the bristle brush. So this is wash day when it's wash day. And now instead of using it, as it is dry. The brush is dry right now. Instead of using it dry or only using it dry, not instead of, in addition to using it to dust off any lint in your hair before you wash. Because freeform lock wearers should or often would have to, not should, I don't want to tell anyone what to do, often would have to just dust off anything. Any lock wearer, to be honest, like any other lock wearer, because it can, even without any products in it, still attract lint, because it's got that static stuff going on. This is why the hair locks up, because everything, you know, clumps together. So it's got a tendency to catch lint, and it can't be eliminated altogether. So even atmospheric lint too will find its way, except you cover your hair all the time. So what I did the other day is take this with me into the shower, and it's actually quite good. And I'm going to also tell you things to consider if you are going to do it. So basically, after I saturated all my hair, I made a beautiful shampoo with aloe, green tea, hibiscus, and black soap, right? I made a quick shampoo for my hair. Hello, thank you for joining. So I used that to shampoo my hair. After I saturated my hair in the shower thoroughly, all my locks were dripping, dripping, dripping. This was quite early in the day as well, before the sun came out. I then added my shampoo to my scalp, which is always how I wash my hair. I add it to my scalp because that's the part that I know really needs the most washing. So obviously, as the soap is running down from my scalp into my freeform locks or my locks, my locks are also benefiting from the soap, from the cleansing, and all of that. And what I did was just take this hard bristle brush. This is a hard one. Yeah, this is a hard bristle brush. This is the same one I used to dry brush my locks, which is to just dislodge any lint. But for the first time, I used this in the shower. Now, will I use it all the time? No, I wouldn't. But I think it's a good thing. And so what I used it to do is to wash. Actually, this had soap on it, and I used it to wash the length and the shaft of my locks. And I found it to be really nice and therapeutic. And I think it's also a good thing. So let me go into the benefits and some things I observed. Just washed it like I'm using it to dust off lint. Nothing heavy, just the surface. Just turn the surface and wash, 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 wash. That's all you do. Just wash all of them. But some of the benefits that I think with doing this and using this in the shower is, if you've got super thick locks, I have a couple of locks which are so thick, and washing them between my small slim fingers just seems to be somewhat of a struggle because they're super thick. So when I used the brush today to wash my locks, I found it to be so much of an easier process. There's a method to how I wash my locks. I think everyone has their own little thing that they do. But I have to rinse off with copious amounts of water. So I was in the shower for a very long time. And my locks ran clean, or the water ran clean through my locks. And then the dripping went on forever, even though I had a cotton head wrap just to drain all the water. But the sun was hot that day, so within a few hours it was dry. Anyway, so it's ideal if you've got super thick locks, yeah, and you are struggling to actually get a grip of the locks in one hand or two hands, and it's just awkward. This would be a good thing to use just gently along the shaft of your hair. And it really, if you're using good soap and shampoo, all that shampoo from the scalp would have run through your locks, and the process would be easier. You won't even need to add any soap to the brush. Really, you're just using this as a way of cleansing it and really removing more lint that you might have in your hair. Now, some people may disagree with this process, and that's fine, okay, because obviously I'm respectful of other people's opinions. Another thing that I found it useful for is because I use the hard bristle brush, I prefer a hard bristle brush, but you can use one that suits you, maybe a softer one or medium softness. You can use whichever one works for you best. You don't have to use a hard bristle brush. But the reason why I like it, as I'm brushing through my locks, I can feel just one or two hairs being caught in there. And I feel like that's good enough. I didn't see much hair in the shower. In fact, I don't think I saw any. But I'm going to, did I clean this afterwards? No, I didn't. And I don't even think I had any lint on it. I'm not even going to make it up and say there was lint on it, because that's just not me. I don't need to make up anything. I am transparent on this channel. So anyway, this came in really handy. And so one of the other benefits is, let me get my train of thought. I've talked about it being good if you've got super thick locks, to just wash all your locks, to be honest. I've talked about that. Oh, when you're using whatever type of brush you're using, depending on your preference, I would say you don't use this method. Yeah, I said avoid this method if your locks are still in their, you know, growth, baby, puberty stage, right? Puberty stage. They're still locking up. They're not completely formed. Don't use the brush. Yeah, especially definitely not a hard bristle one. So I would say when your locks are so mature, really mature, it's a good thing to use. Yeah. Also, you certainly don't want to use this or any other type on your scalp. I don't think there's a necessity for that. I literally set the brush aside and went in with the pads of my fingers, just to lift up all the oils on my scalp, any rancid oil, and for my scalp to, benefit from new oil or new sebum coming through. So I did not use it on my scalp. That would be too harsh. My scalp won't be able to, I'm going to scream even thinking about it. My scalp would not love it. One other thing I wanted to say as well, if you are using any type of bristle brush, soft, medium, hard, please do store it away from the open. What I mean is, even your bristle brush can catch some lint as well. So what you don't want to do is have tons of dust and lint in this and then take it and apply it to your locks. And then you end up finding out that you now have lint you didn't have. So be careful. All right, just be careful. That's all I wanted to say. But it was a great experience, and I would not recommend using it more than maybe once every other wash, or just go with the flow. There's no kind of recipe for this thing. I really just share my experiences. There's no recipe. I can't say use it every 2 washes or every 4 washes. Just do what works for you. I will probably forget about the brush and probably remember in 6 months' time. Thank you so much for joining. Greetings. Hello. Hi. Who's in the house? I will probably forget about it. And then one day I'll remember again and think, oh, yeah, I did use this brush ages ago. I did use this brush ages ago. Even brushing my locks when they're dry, I don't always remember to do it. And this is why I say this channel is transparent, because I don't want to ever come on and say, I do this, I do this, I do this. No. Tonight I've got something covering my locks. Not all of it, but I have something covering my locks. Typically these days, I don't like sleeping with anything on my head. I just don't know why. I don't like it. Whilst I know I should cover my locks, definitely. I mean, isn't that one of the reasons why I'm having to use this? Because one of the other contributing factors to lint is not covering your hair when you sleep. There's stuff lying around. So, but I just get lazy sometimes, and I feel kind of choked when I'm sleeping and I've got something around my head now. So therefore, this is all the more reason, everything is intertwined. This is all the more reason why I don't use products in my hair, because I'm sleeping, my head is rubbing against my pillow. I don't sleep with a silk pillow. Always. I do have a silk pillow. I don't even use a pillow. Right now I've got a bit of a stiff neck because I used a pillow yesterday, which I don't like using. So I don't actually use pillows to sleep on. I have them as decoration on my bed, but not to sleep on. It just bothers my neck. I don't know why. Doesn't matter what type of pillow it is. Anyway, I digress. So that pretty much is all I wanted to say. Your bristle brush. Yeah. Thank you for getting ready with me. It was a short get ready with me, not full on. I've got my lip balm on. I've got my castor oil on that I use nighttime. I use this. I forget what it's called. Carapa or something. I forget. But it's a natural oil, 100% cold pressed. Nothing's added into it. Nothing. This was made by my herbal teacher. Not a thing is added into it, and I can smell it. It's not very strong, but I can smell it. I can smell it. So it's got a nutty smell to it. And that's what I use as my serum. Yeah, it's on oil, but I use it as a serum. Yeah. I prefer that because it's natural. And my skin is very used to natural products because that's what I've been using for years. I've been using different natural products. Well, not even different, pretty much the same. Shea butter is always there. Always. So I always have shea butter next to me, which I have right now. And then, yeah. And sometimes I have moringa oil, which I also have here. I have some moringa oil. And I love smelling good when I go to bed at night. It's always nice to just dab a little sun. This one is a new one. I picked up some perfume oil when I was away in December. My neck hurts. I took a very hot shower not so long ago, so hopefully that would help. And I've rubbed some shea butter on my... So yeah, so I've just got some perfume oil here, and I'm going to do that. Ooh. And when I wake up in the morning, I shall be feeling and smelling beautiful. Very nice. I love it. Such a sweet, so sweet food. Woody, musky, Arabian type of, yeah. I think my hands are creamed. Let me just add a little bit of my hand cream. Since I bought this hand cream, I've not been able to, I'm not sure what I did to the lid, but the lid is always such a pain to put on. If I get the grooves wrong, that's it, I've had it. So I think it's on now. So that's my hand cream. I'm not trying to promote anything. I'm not trying to promote anything. So anything you see me use, it's not for promotion purposes. Oh, my neck. I think it just needs to click. All right then. It's lovely catching up with all of you. Thank you so much for catching this live and on the replay. Please do feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section in terms of using a bristle brush in the shower, when you shampoo your hair, using it directly on the length, not the scalp, not your scalp, but the length of your locks, on mature locks only, right? And as maybe some sort of deep cleanser, so to speak, from time to time, but not always. That was the summary of the video. Until next time, please do subscribe to the channel if you are catching this for the first time. Again, my name is Deborah of Nonconformist Eyewear. I am the one running this channel. I share just my kind of thoughts about freeform locks and slow living, and the impact that medicinal herbs has on me. Sometimes food, sometimes fitness, sometimes dancing, all sorts. All right, then I shall speak to you all soon. Bye bye.